Today I'm going to be breaking down the top 3 Electro Boot attacks you can use here at Townhall 17. So the Electro Boots have been taking over the meta, and that is because right now in the game they are incredibly strong. So today we're going to go through 3 different strategies you can do alongside the Electro Boot charge on your Royal Champion, and all of these have been crushing bases in Legends League, in War, all over the place. So let's jump in to the first one, which you guys can see is going to be Root Riders and Valkyries. This was one of the strongest strategies in the meta for a good while, and the Royal Champion charge with those Electro Boots has brought this right back into the meta. So let's jump in and break this one down. What you're going to be doing, of course, is bringing that Spirit Fox here on the Royal Champion, because we're looking to pick up as much invisibility power as we can. So we're going to let that Spirit Fox do its thing. Royal Champion, of course, with those Electro Boots, going to be coming in and crushing buildings. Now, whenever your Spirit Fox wears off, you want to, of course, go ahead and use that invisibility spell. And if we pause things up right here, what we're looking to do with this is take out a section of the base that not only is going to grab some key defenses like the Fire Spitter here or even the Scatter Shot, but we're also potentially going to be looking at taking down a nice chunk of the base so we can create that funnel. So continuing on with this one, another invisibility spell going to be going down there, and we can actually use the invisibility spells to make sure our Royal Champion's going to be going onto the buildings we want her to. Her ability getting popped off right there with that haste vial means we're going to get maximum damage while our Royal Champion is, of course, invisible in the core of the base. Another invisibility spell going in right there, keeping our RC up. And then we're going to use that all-important recall spell, because there's no point in just letting our Royal Champion die when she gets to the middle of the base, because she can still be useful picking off defenses here on the back end. So we're going to use that recall spell and look at the damage we've done in the core of this base. We've taken out a huge amount of defenses and we've created that funnel. We can then get started with the next portion of our attack, using the Queen just to start picking off a couple of those junk buildings on the outside, creating that funnel. Then the Siege Barracks going to come in behind. We then have the main core of our army, those Root Riders, the Grand Warden, of course, going to be coming in with the Warden Apprentice. We then have those Valkyries coming in behind, a couple of Coco Loons to protect up those healers from any seeking Ermines, and we're just going to crush straight into the Town Hall on this one. Now, if we pause it up, if you see a centralized Town Hall, you may want to use that Overgrowth spell you have brought on that, so your troops go all the way around it and finish off with the Town Hall. However, on this particular example, our troops are going around the outside already, so we can take down that Town Hall as they progress through, and it means we've then got that Overgrowth spell for some of the other key defenses on the back end of the base. Grand Warden ability going to get popped off right there, getting some pretty solid value as we push through the Monolith, as well as that Town Hall. Few Valkyries going to come out of the Siege Barracks just to help us as we push through the back end of this one. And there is the Overgrowth spell going to be coming in. Like I said, picking off quite a few of those key buildings, including an Inferno Tower and the Fire Spitter right there, allowing our troops just to go past them without taking any damage. We can continue on, and just as we are about to get in contact with them, you'll see we have our King right in the mix right there. He can go ahead and pop off that ability, and we can crush through the back end of this one. The Earthquake Boots opening up every single wall compartment, the Spiky Ball killing every single defense. And this one, even with a couple of buildings on the back end, it means we can completely crush through them and easily bring in a 3-star with the Root Riders and those Valkyries. 10 seconds left on the clock, not a problem, plenty of time, and this is a very good way to kick off this video. And the second example we're going to be jumping in to take a look at is going to be with the dual hogs. We've got the normal Hog Riders and the Super Hog Riders. Now, this feels like a bit of a throwback to the old hybrid days, but instead of those miners, we of course have the Super Hog Riders. So again, exactly the same as that previous one. We're looking to pick up maximum value here from our Royal Champion with that Spirit Fox and with those invisibility spells, using them as and when we need them. And also, you'll notice right there, we actually made the enemy Royal Champion invisible because we're not too bothered about taking her down. We want to take down as many defenses as possible. We don't really care about the enemy heroes. Continuing to crush through this one, another invisibility spell coming in right there. Royal Champion has taken quite a chunk of damage, but we're going to go ahead there, make sure after that last shot and the invisibility spell wears off, We're going to recoil her just the same as the last one, and then we can get started with the next portion of this attack. We've got an Ice Golem going to be coming out in front. We've got the Siege Barracks coming in from that top section of the base. Unfortunately, it does look like our Super Wall Breaker was taken out by that giant bomb right there. And our King, unfortunately, also going to go down very early on to that single target Inferno Tower. But as you guys saw, we are going to go ahead and we're going to use our heroes as a kind of sui here, a mini push alongside that Siege Barracks, a couple of other troops including that Ice Golem, to go ahead and try and snipe off the Town Hall wherever it may be. Freeze spell coming down in the Town Hall, as well as those Clan Castle troops. We have a poison spell in there as well, and down goes the Town Hall just as we're about to hit that 50% mark. Now the good thing about this particular example is the Royal Champion again has cleared a nice funnel down this bottom section, and the heroes have done the exact same on the top. What this means is we can then have the remainder of our hogs and Super Hog Riders pushing directly through the core of the base. They've got a really clear and distinctive path to push through the back end of this one, so let's see how we do it. Of course, we've got that Grand Warden going to be coming in with the Eternal Tome, as well as that Healing Tome as well. The Royal Champion also going to be joining in right there, and she can pick up maximum value, go straight back up to full HP with the help of that Healing Tome from the Grand Warden, pushing directly into the core of the base, all of our troops crushing through, freezing up that single target Inferno on the back end. We do have the Ricochet Cannon to potentially deal with on the back end as well, but we have so many troops left up. We still have a couple of Headhunters coming in the back end as well. Queen's going to be dealing with that Ricochet Cannon. We have so many troops left up. Royal Champion back up to full HP. The MVP of this one crushing through the back end of this one. And this another great example of how good those Electro Boots can be in combination with, of course, the Royal Champion. And in this case, those Hogs and Super Hog Riders. So we've got one more example, which is my personal favourite because it's by far the absolute easiest. So the final example we're going to be jumping in to take a look at couldn't really be any easier because it's 16 dragons, and that is the full army composition. We have 11 invisibility spells. We of course have that overgrowth spell as well, but you'll notice the only difference here is the Royal Champion is actually going to be bringing in a slightly different combination of equipment, and that is because we are going to use 11 invisibility spells. So we're going to actually use a slightly different equipment and a different pet. We're going to bring in the Phoenix here on the Royal Champion because we want her to be in the core of the base with under invisibility spell for as long as possible. So even if she takes a bit of damage and she might die, the Phoenix hopefully will keep her alive long enough that she can make the most of those invisibility spells, the Electro Boots, and in this case, the Spear as well. So let's see what we're going to do right here. We are actually going to be popping the Royal Champion ability straight off the bat right here, making the maximum value of the spears, just crushing through those rocket spears, doing some really nice work. And here we go, now pushing into the core of the base. So we're going to start using those invisibility spells, and you're going to be using each and every one here, protecting that Royal Champion for as long as possible. Like I said, you do have a little bit of a security net because of course you do have the Phoenix on the Royal Champion just in case she does take too much damage, but we're going to try and keep her protected for as long as we possibly can. Invisibility spells going to continue to come in right there. Multi-target Inferno going to be taken care of, hopefully, and we've got 3 of them in the core, so we're definitely looking to try and take them down. Those Electro Boots doing some serious work, also helping us deal with those Clan Castle troops, but so far still looking very, very good. But you'll see that Royal Champion has taken a decent chunk of damage, very, very close to going down, but with the help of the Phoenix, hopefully that will push us through the back end of this one. Now locking onto that Town Hall. Unfortunately though, that is going to be our last invisibility spell. Are we going to be able to get that Town Hall takedown? We will soon find out. She's going to go down, but the Phoenix brings her back to life, and with the invulnerability of the Phoenix, look at the value we just got from that charge. We have taken down almost all of the core defenses. These dragons are going to be able to crush through the back end of this one nice and easily. We don't have a problem because we have 16 dragons coming in. We have the Stone Slammer, we have all the rest of our heroes as well. King and Queen going to be swinging down around this bottom section, pushing up towards that right hand side. The dragons unfortunately do have a little bit of a split on them, but that's not going to be a problem. The rest of the equipments, we're going to have the Spiky Ball and the shoes on the King, the Queen going to be coming in with the Healer Puppet and Mirror, Grand Warden coming in with that Healing Tome as well as the Eternal. Continuing to push on through, we do actually use the Overgrowth spell on this one. We could potentially use it on the back end here, yep, just to freeze up that Monolith, because it can do some pretty serious damage to our heroes as well as those dragons, but honestly, I still think we would have 3-starred this one, even without the use of that Overgrowth. So a really, really dominant attack here, and this is by far one of my favourites, because all you do is get as maximum value from your Royal Champion, spam in the rest of your troops, and you're pretty much going to be looking at a 3-star every single time. You'll see swagging hero abilities on the back end of this one, and it's another very strong 3-star. So if you're looking for a strategy to use with the new Electro Boots charge on the Royal Champion, there is 3 perfect examples for you. You've got the dragons, you've got the dual hogs, and of course you had the Root Riders and Valkyries at the start. So if you found this video helpful and you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like down below. Let me know which one of these 3 strategies you are going to be trying out if you've not already tried them out before. And we'll see you in the next video. Peace.